The pre-flood world was a crazy place. If you're here, you're likely interested in it, but have you ever considered living in it? Yeah, there was a lot more interaction with spiritual beings, but that's not all. Stay with me as we dig into some stories about these ancient walled cities and how they stood up against the Nephilim. These Nephilim were basically giant offspring of fallen angels and humans. They roamed all over, causing chaos wherever they went. Humans lived in constant fear, always on the lookout for these massive savage cannibals. So if you're here, you probably know all about the Nephilim. But just in case, let's recap. Genesis 6:4 mentions the Nephilim, described as heroes of old, men of renown. These beings were powerful and feared, likely possessing immense size and strength. The book of Enoch expands on this, describing how the fallen angels taught humans forbidden knowledge, including weaponry and warfare. This knowledge could have been crucial for defending against these giants. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Giants provides additional details, depicting the giants as tyrannical, destructive, and sometimes cannibalistic. The human inhabitants of ancient cities would have seen these beings as existential threats. But our ancestors got creative. Just as in a cartoon which one of my children enjoys, Attack on Titan, cities are enclosed by enormous walls. Ancient pre-flood civilizations might have built similarly colossal fortifications. These walls would need to be reinforced to withstand the strength of giants who could attempt to breach them by force. We're talking huge, reaching up to a few stories high, plenty high enough to keep out aggressive beings that stand up to 12 meters or 36 feet tall. These weren't just stone barriers. They represented hope and stubbornness in a world that seemed to have gone crazy. Ancient cities could have also been imagined as having multi-layered walls, with each layer designed to slow giants down progressively. Watchtowers, large gate mechanisms, and retractable bridges could all feature prominently. If you've seen my work on Atlantis, you know all about the concentric walled cities. Cities could have also been built on elevated terrain or mountainous regions to exploit natural defenses. High ground would slow giant advances and make it easier to spot threats from a distance, similar to fortresses or watchtowers. How many times have you seen powerful hubs of human activity described as a city on a hill in the Bible? Defending against giants in the pre-flood world, according to the Bible, the Book of Enoch, and the Book of Giants, would have required a unique set of strategies and technologies. In this world, there could be elite warrior groups trained specifically to engage giants in combat outside the city walls. These hunters might be equipped with knowledge of giant anatomy, enchanted weapons, and possibly even high angelic technology. Just look to Hindu mythology to see this. Book of Enoch suggests that fallen angels taught humanity advanced metallurgy, weapon crafting, and defensive strategies. These weapons could include large-scale ballistae, catapults, or even massive spears or harpoons designed to pierce thick giant skin. The cities could employ specialized units trained to target weak points, like the nape of the neck, using tools or weapons empowered by or created using advanced angelic knowledge. The ancient people could have developed technologies allowing soldiers to maneuver rapidly, scaling walls, or even reaching giants at critical points. While the Bible and apocryphal texts don't describe this, one could extrapolate that. Advanced knowledge from the fallen angels might include mechanical innovations. This idea of walls protecting against giants is ingrained deeply in the human psyche, so much so that it pops up in stories from all over. Norse myths talk about gods building a wall around Asgard to keep out their giant enemies. In Chinese folklore, there's a guy named Yu the Great who built walls to keep out giant monsters. Even the biblical account of Jericho, way after the flood, kind of hints at walls being super important against tough enemies, even if it doesn't name them as giants. Why were the walls so tall? People back then didn't just build walls to keep out other tribes. Nope, they were trying to protect themselves from something much scarier, the Nephilim. But that's not the only way they could have fended off these giants. Now, there really is plenty of evidence that certain civilizations resorted to appeasing giants through offerings or sacrifices. Although it seems grim, this could be part of the psychological and spiritual warfare used by some cities. It could have also been a legit method of appeasing the hunger of these cannibalistic giants. What's a few people here and there worth if it saves a city, is what they could have been thinking. Therefore, my theory is that these massive stone structures, which archaeologists envision as temples where people were sacrificed to non-physical entities, could have in fact been dinner tables for the Nephilim. However, the Nephilim were not just physical beings but spiritual entities with significant power. In response, cities might have relied on rituals, blessings, and symbols, possibly invoking the power of God, angels, or spiritual forces to repel or weaken giants. The concept of a protective divine barrier could be imagined as part of this strategy. In fact, it's stuck around long after the flood, to modern times. A mezuzah is a small case, affixed to the doorposts of Jewish homes, containing a parchment scroll inscribed with specific Hebrew verses from the Torah, primarily the Shema. Check the description for a link to a good video on this. However, ancient humans who don't know the one true God might seek alliances with other seemingly friendly supernatural beings, such as other fallen angels, or beings of divine origin, which might want to make a deal, possibly being worshipped as a god or accepting human sacrifice. There is evidence that the Nephilim, who became the modern demons, are actually insane, possibly understandably so, but the fallen angels who created them were quite intelligent and wise. These allies could offer guidance, protection, or even direct intervention during attacks by their children, in exchange for literally being worshipped as a god. I know you liked this one, so go ahead and like and subscribe, and what helps even more is if you share this video with your friends. As always, have a blessed day.